All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a screenplay called Nearly 10 Years. We're going to break down its dramatic structure piece by piece to really see how a writer can build a story that lands a serious emotional gut punch.
So the whole story kicks off with this line from our main character, Jessica. And right away, it sets up this central theme, doesn't it? The idea that time is, well, it's tricky. A single breath can feel like just a second, but it can also hold an entire decade of life.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to unpack that single breath. We'll look at the nuts and bolts of the story to understand how it builds this world of incredible love, deep loss, and just, shocking tragedy.
Okay, so every great story has to start somewhere, and that's the setup. This is where we get the backstory, we meet the characters, and we get that first little hint of the secrets that are going to drive this whole thing forward.
The screenplay is super efficient here. It just lays out the last 10 years for us. You've got Brian, a soldier, who has to leave his love, Jessica. He's done reported killed in action, and he has no idea Jessica is pregnant. She raises their son, Christopher, all on her own for 9 years. And then, bam, the catalyst. Brian, who everyone thought was dead, suddenly shows up.
And there it is, the screenplay's first huge reveal. This secret is right at the heart of the setup. I mean, with that one line, a whole decade of two separate lives just crashes together, and the entire premise of the story is locked in.
So now, let's see how that bombshell turns into the inciting incident. This isn't just a simple reunion, you guys. This is the moment that completely shatters the world as they know it and kicks the story's main conflict into high gear.
You have to imagine the emotional whiplash here. For 9 years, Christopher believed his dad was a hero who died in the war. For a whole decade, Jessica grieved and somehow managed to build a new life. And then, in a single instant, Brian's return just shatters both of their realities. It's a lot.
You know, Christopher's journey right here is so important. He goes from being totally confused to this really beautiful, simple moment of acceptance. For just a second, this broken family feels whole again. And that's a powerful connection for us, the audience, to latch onto. But of course, it's not going to be that easy, right? Now we get into the rising action. This is where the writer just starts throwing one crisis after another at our characters to ramp up the tension and really raise the stakes. And believe me, it is a brutal cascade of events. Literally, moments after Christopher accepts his dad, he gets hit by a car. So now we have a life-or-death medical drama. Then, a rival love interest named Kurt shows up, which reveals that, hey, Jessica's life actually moved on. And on top of all that, we find out Brian is dealing with his own horrible trauma from being a prisoner of war. And the script grounds all this drama in some very real stakes. The doctor actually explains Christopher's condition as a traumatic brain injury, or TBI. It defines the real-world medical science behind his coma. So this isn't just some plot device. It's a tangible, terrifying reality these characters are now forced to deal with.
This voicemail from Kurt, wow. It just drops the romantic conflict right into the middle of everything. It's such a sharp reminder that 10 years is a long time. Jessica's world didn't just stand still waiting for a ghost to come back. This adds a completely new layer of complexity to her reunion with Brian. So all of this tension is building and building towards the climax. But before the story delivers its biggest gut punch, it does something really clever. It gives us this huge moment of hope. It's setting us up for a massive reversal of fortune. And that hope, it feels so real, doesn't it? Christopher is starting to show signs of recovery. The doctors are getting optimistic, he's even moving his legs. And at the very same time, Brian and Jessica are reconnecting, their bond getting stronger through this whole crisis. You're led to believe, okay, a happy ending is just around the corner. And this is the absolute peak of that hope. Brian proposes. It's the ultimate promise of a future, right? Solidifying their family. For just a minute, it really feels like the story has reached its happy resolution. But that's not what happens. Nope. This is the pivot. After lulling all of us into this false sense of security, the story just pulls the rug right out from under us. The reversal is just so fast and so brutal. A car runs a red light, and all that hope that was so carefully built up is just violently shattered in a second accident. It's a shocking twist, and it's what defines the story's climax. So, where in the world does that leave us? Let's take a look at the resolution.
The screenplay does resolve the immediate plot, but it leaves us, the audience, with something way more powerful, a cliffhanger.
The story's final tragic irony is laid out so clearly here. Christopher, the son, he's waking up from his coma. Brian survives the crash with just a concussion. But Jessica, the mother, she's now unconscious and slipping into a coma herself. It's just devastating. As one life comes back, another one just hangs in the balance.
You know, the writer makes a really bold choice here. Instead of giving us a nice, neat conclusion, the story just stops. It's suspended right in this moment of intense uncertainty. And the power of the ending is that it is unresolved. And that leaves us with this one last question to chew on. After a decade of loss and this tiny, fleeting moment of hope, what is left when tragedy doesn't just strike once, but twice? It's a question about resilience, about fate, and about the strength of a family that has been pushed to the absolute brink.